Hey guys, it's DevMotion back again with another monthly comic review. This is month 5, and for this month we have Action Comics #1 in honor of the new Superman movie, which should be releasing today if I post this video on July 11th. And this is of course something I got for Superman Day. And we also have Green Arrow issue 24, I believe. And this is the conclusion of the Freshwater Killer arc. So, pretty excited about this. And then we also have the Sadhu issue 2. So, let's get Green Arrow issue 24 opened up. Here it is out of the packaging, and let's do a cover reveal. Boom. It's an all-white, very clean cover. Ooh, this looks good. So I'm excited to read these. I'll get back to you after reading these comics. Okay guys, so I read these 3 comics, and they were great. I enjoyed them a lot. So let's discuss them. So the first one for today is the Sadhu. Keep these to the side. Yeah, the Sadhu. And it obviously picks up from issue 1, in which we see James Jensen go to India from England with his pregnant wife, and he meets the leader of the British Army called Townsend, and it's right here, called Townsend, and we realize that he's like a really horrible guy and he's been killing Indian natives. So he reaches India and he encounters a Bengal tiger, and then the tiger is lured away by a mysterious figure called the Sadhu. So we don't know who that was, and we also, if we recall, in the first issue he sees a temple, and yeah, so it picks up from that. And issue 2 starts with Jensen right here, James Jensen, beating up Indian natives and crushing the rebellion. And then Townsend says that James Jensen needs a lot more training and that he should be more cruel. So he's like, yeah, make him one, beat it into him if you have to. And then we see James, like, he's befriended a Indian man named Ravi in the British Army, in the British Raj Army, and they're just having a few drinks. And then I believe they get into an argument, and Townsend tells Jensen that he shouldn't mingle with Indians because they're, like, inferior to the white race, I guess. So they end up fighting, and then he orders Jensen to kill Ravi. So that's what happens. And obviously James Jensen, as we know, he's kind of a nice guy, so he doesn't do that. And one of his friends ends up doing it. So one of the friends ends up killing Ravi, his friend, James Jensen's friend, who is also a part of the army. We also find out that his wife, Tess, is pregnant once again. So they had a boy named Jack, and now she's pregnant once again with a baby girl. So, yeah, high stakes. And then, obviously, Townsend doesn't like the fact that Jensen doesn't kill Ravi. So, he arrests James Jensen and then also kidnaps Tess. And he's about to do something really bad to her, it's an unspeakable act. And instead of, doing it, he just kills the baby. He kills Jack, his son, and he also kills Tess, and therefore ends up killing his baby girl. So then Jensen's like, he's getting healed after a while, after his children and wife are killed. is getting healed, and then the friend who killed Ravi previously helps him escape, and he runs into the forest where he meets a bunch of the Sadhus that we saw in like the first issue. Like they were part of the gang with that old guy called Dadaji, and they're about to beat him up because, you know, he's white, and, you know, they would assume that he's the bad guy, right? But the old man, Dadaji, tells them not to kill him because it's not his time yet. So I thought that was a pretty good issue. Definitely the best way to continue it. But I thought it was super predictable. To be honest, I mean, I kind of expected for that to happen. I thought they wouldn't have Jack be born, and they would kill Tess while Jack is while Jack is still in her womb. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't expect the baby girl twist, but whatever. But yeah, it was a good issue. But yeah, definitely predictable. I don't think it's bad to say that, but yeah, I liked it. I'm excited for whatever happens in issue 3, because now I'm definitely not sure where the series is gonna go. Yeah, excited. Next up, we have Green Arrow, issue 24, or Legacy 357. This is the last issue for the Freshwater Killer arc, and it's just the bookend. You know, it's like the epilogue of the entire arc. Basically, in this one, we start off with Kenny, right? Kenny the Freshwater Killer. And, you know, he's just visiting his mom's grave and, like, mourning and stuff. And then he gets the idea, like, hey, you know, what if I become a serial killer and, like, murder all of the CEOs? Very normal thoughts, but yeah. So he, like, talks about getting everyone a red jacket and recruiting them. And then we also pick up in the present day where he's in jail, and Oliver's visiting him. And at first, Benny doesn't want to talk to him, or Kenny doesn't want to talk to him. Kenny doesn't want to talk to Oliver, but, you know, he convinces him, and he's like, hey man, I hate you because you're partly responsible for what happened at Freshwater. You were the CEO at the time. Like, you signed all these documents for the dumping of the chemicals, which killed a lot of people, hurt a lot of people. And Oliver's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And then he puts this paper in front of him, and he's like, what is that? And it's like this legislation that would totally destroy Freshwater, and rebuild something else there. So, you know, Kenny's he's feeling better. He's like, it's a start, right? And oh my god, look at Oliver, he's just mogging right there. Aura. And then Oliver catches up with Detective Benitez and learns her name is Lena. I don't know why that's important. Probably because she might be like a main character now. I don't know. Don't care, to be honest. I thought it was like supposed to be like an old character or something that was like erased from existence, but I guess not, because I searched her up, and she's definitely not like someone from like the 40s that we just like never saw again. But yeah, you know, then like the whole Arrow family is having dinner together, you know. His son's making him chili. So then we see Oliver heading somewhere, right? And he heads to the CEO in chemicals, and, you know, he shoots an arrow, 3 arrows actually. Shoots 3 arrows, and he's like, hey man, you're gonna have to like pay for everyone else's medical expenses, everyone you've hurt by dumping the chemicals. I thought it was pretty badass, not gonna lie. And yeah, the issue just kind of ends with Oliver running down this billboard and then catching up with his family for dinner. I kind of hope that for the next story arcs, we see more of the Arrow family. I really like the first 12 issues, the first run, because of how much they were involved in it. Like, that's what I feel like for Green Arrow and his comics. I feel like more members is better, but I think Green Arrow is his best when he's working with everyone. And like 90% of his family is like his actual family. Like, you know, like Dinah is his wife. Roy is his basically adopted son, right? Like even more than I feel in most ways Batman, because I think he just cares more. And then you know, Leanne is like Roy's daughter or whatever. She's gonna be in the next run, but I'm totally excited and psyched about the next run, because it's supposed to be like kind of centric around a super obscure villain from like the 50s or 60s, and yeah, I just think it's gonna be interesting. And so the villain is supposed to be like an archer as well, so I just think that's kind of interesting, and I'm definitely excited to see that. But yeah, that was it. Hey, you know, I was complaining about ads last time, like how there's not enough ads, which is kind of weird. But like, you know how you read a comic book and you're like, wow, look at these cool ads. They finally have a ad. It's like Rick and Morty, but you know, it's still like WB owned. But I remember when they used to have like, you know, car ads and stuff. That was cool. But speaking of ads and the abundance of them, we are going to be reading Action Comics straight from 1938. So this is like the first like superhero comic, you know. This is like the first superhero. Like Superman is the first superhero. And this was like released on Superman Day. I got it way back in April, I think. Yeah, maybe April. So the Superman movie is coming out. Super excited about that. I'm gonna probably review it on the channel, give my thoughts. I'm watching it on the 11th, which is today. So I'm watching it probably when this video is released, or is getting released, or has been released. So yeah. But this is a really good comic. It's very basic, but obviously that makes sense because it was the first superhero comic. Like obviously it's gonna be basic. So the comic starts off, well, first of all, you know, the whole thing is very thick. Like Action Comics #1 is like extremely long. Like you won't find comics this long anymore, because this was like 50 cents probably, and now it's like $10 for that many pages. And it starts off with this ad, and it's like $25 prize for a color page contest in New York. It starts off with very basic things like Ma and Pa Kent aren't even like a thing in Superman right now. Like he's this alien that crash lands, nothing about Jor-El, just distant planet. I don't even think they say Krypton. Yeah, they don't even say Krypton. He's just left at an orphanage. They find him, they just put him in an orphanage. So that's not Ma and Pa Kent. Those are just random orphanage workers, I guess. And then we see that he can, you know, leap 1/8 of a mile, hurdle a 20-story building, and raise tremendous weights, run faster than an express train. That's obviously changed a lot. He can fly now. He can literally carry the earth on his back, and he can run almost at the speed of light, or even probably faster than that. You know, the way the Superman was released was like as a champion of the oppressed. He's like a physical marvel, as they say there. You know, because these stories were grounded. They weren't like super villains. They were thugs, and there were people that did everyday crimes that he would stop. He wouldn't stop Lex Luthor in a battle suit. He wouldn't stop Doomsday, right? That's just not who he was. He was just a dude with powers who stopped petty criminals. He didn't even have like an S. Like the first time they drew him, that's not like an S at all. That's just like smudges. And then they also give like a scientific explanation of his powers, and it's like, you know, how ants can lift crazy amounts of weight compared to their body weight, so they have like super strength. And then also how grasshoppers can jump so far that it's like, to us at that relative size, it'd be like jumping city blocks. But yeah, the issue is like you know, that's the origin story. That's it. That's all we get on his background on Clark. And he goes to the mayor's place or something. Yeah, it's the governor's estate. So he goes to the governor's estate, and he's like, "You've got the wrong person. Someone's on death row," and he's like, "You've got the wrong person." And this person's trying to stop him, like, "Hey, you can't just wake the governor up." And he's like, "It's important." So he just like, you know, it's supposed to be funny, right? It's like comedy back in the day or something. And he's like, "You can't break the steel door down." And then he's like, he breaks it down. He's like, "It was your idea." Ha ha ha. I bet they really found that funny in the 40s, or 30s. And then he's like, "Hey, you got the wrong guy. I have the written confession right here." And yeah, she's saved. You know, the person that's about to die is saved. So, and then we see Clark working at the Daily Star. So, you know, Daily Planet was not a thing. Daily Star is where he works, and that's obviously true for Earth 2 Clark. You know, later this is like Earth 2 Clark. This is not Earth 1 Clark. So he works at the Daily Star, and you know, the chief, the editor, right? He's like, "Hey, give me a story on Superman, and make it cool." So he hears about a wife beating on, and then he's like, you know, since he's the champion of the oppressed, he goes, stops that. So he just stops, like, well, petty crime, right? But he stops, like, basic crimes. He's not, like, stopping supervillains or powered individuals, metahumans. And then he asks Lois out on a date, and, you know, at this point, Lois is not interested in Clark at all. Like, she thinks that Clark is, like, just this buffoon and, like, not cool. But then she gets kidnapped by these guys that are hitting on her, and, you know, he changes into Superman, and he stops the green car. But this guy's name was Butch, and, you know, we get the iconic cover, right? This is where the cover is taken from. So he's not, like, saving people, he's literally shaking them out of a car. So, you know, that's definitely misinterpreted, because I always thought he was, like, saving people from a car accident, but I guess not. And, you know, this iconic cover is recreated in Superman and Lois. Just have to point that out. Low-key, probably the best Superman TV show. Smallville's up there too. Smallville's probably like second. And then he gets, like, another assignment where he takes down, like, this senator, because he's been taking money to pass laws or something from a foreign official. So yeah, Superman, you know, takes down the foreign official and takes him to the Capitol. And, you know, that's like, yeah, that's Superman. See you next time. Don't miss an issue. But yeah, that's like 3 different stories in one not even one comic. It's like a few pages, which is interesting and insane, because that would not be what happens today. Like, today they'd put just the one story in one issue, make it like $3.99, right? But yeah, that was interesting. And then those are not the only stories in this comic. They had this one called Chuck Dawson, and it's about this cowboy whose dad is killed, and then he's like trying to take revenge. I kind of just skimmed over this one. Yeah, I wasn't really interested, but, you know, it's cool. And then, yeah, we also had the first appearance of Zatara. I also didn't read this one, but it was kind of whatever. You know, he's just stopping, like, thieves that are trying to get onto the train, I guess. Then we also have, like, in this comic, it's not just, like, you know, comic strips, right? It's also stories. This is really interesting. Obviously, at that time, like, it's advertised on the bottom of the issue, like, hey, this was during a time where racism was, like, totally acceptable. So, you know, be wary of that. It's only reproduced for historical integrity. So yeah, I didn't read this one, but I'm sure it's racist. Like, just look at the pictures, right? And there was this comedy strip. Didn't read that one, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Some guy's trying to take tomatoes, robs him, and then it's the floor is sticky or something, and then he crashes into this other person. Then he hides, and they're trying to find each other. Oh, how did they find this funny back in the day? That's crazy. But yeah, then puts on a white mustache, and that totally convinces them that it's not him. And then we also have this historical piece or strip about Marco Polo and him just touring the world. That was whatever. Did not read that. And we have a comic about Pep Morgan. He's a boxer. Did not read that. Also, like, look at those drawings. Come on, it's crazy. And then we have one about Scoop Scanlon. He's apparently a reporter. I'm sure that he probably used him as inspiration for Clark and Lois later on. No idea though. Don't quote me on that at all. I'm just guessing. And then, like, a lot of these comics are just not colored in. I guess it wasn't common because it was super expensive. And they have Tex Thompson. Don't know what that's about. Did not read it. But yeah, and they have, I loved seeing the ads at the end of this. So fun. They have something called Stardust, and then they're just talking about, like, some fun fact about actors at that time. And then they also have these baseball strips. It's like baseball funny drawings. And they have Lou Gehrig. Everyone knows Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth. People still remember them, but still. So yeah, that was oh, they also have ads on the back. Some of them are so interesting, like ads for things you can buy. So it's like they have a 25-cent chameleon toy, right? They have, like, is it a violin? That might be a violin. They have a camera. They can just, like, gonna mail in this part of the ad, put in the money, and then just they'll send it to you. That's crazy. They used to do this till, like, the 80s or 90s. I don't think they do it anymore. But yeah, that was the Action Comics number 1. I really liked it. It's so weird to see how many stories are in one issue. How many pages was this? Like, probably like 50 plus. Yeah, there were a lot of pages. But yeah, I wish, like, comics could go back to this, but I don't think anyone would be able to afford, like, $10 or $15 comics. Or Action Comics and Detective Comics. They should make it so they have, like, a few other stories. I know they sometimes do that. Like, Green Lantern used to have, like, 2 or 3 years ago, it used to have, like, a section with Hal, or with Jon Stewart's story. I like that, I think that's kind of nice. And I think they should do the same thing with Superman or Action Comics, actually. Where they have, like, I don't know, bring back Superman of China. That'd be cool. DC just forgot about him. It's crazy how David Cornsweet's Superman spawned from just this one comic. Like, the butterfly effect is, like, crazy, right? Like, Superman's like a multi-million-dollar franchise, probably $1 billion franchise, really. And it spawned, like, DC Comics spawned every single superhero that we know today. So yeah, I mean, it was really fun reading this. And also the old-timey language is so funny. Okay, so it's time to bag and board these comics. So, Action Comics is irregularly large. Like, I don't know why they made it so big. I don't think comics were that big back in the day either, so I have no idea. But, the comic place that it's not my local comic book shop, but I went there just to see it. It's, like, the second closest comic book shop, but it's, like, not even 10 miles, probably 20 miles away. And, they were kind enough to give me, like, a huge bag. It was in this bag and then I cut up 2 different boards. So I had this one board, and then so I have like some small comics, like yay big comics, right? So I just cut board pieces just to give that one a board. So I used the strip from the leftover of that, and then I taped and super glued it, so you know it's like, I don't know if you can see it, but I taped and super glued it so it can like actually fit the comic. It's a bit of a snug fit. I think I might have gone a little bit too tight on it, but yeah. Yeah, just put it right in, and then yeah, you can see like it's not easy to get this in. I'll put this one first. Definitely a snug fit. I think it bends it a little bit, and that's not good. But you know, I just gotta like let it stretch a little bit. Yeah. But it's so cool that I get to own like a replica of this. Like, this comic is probably like, it's what, worth $1 million plus. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Probably even more than that, like maybe double-digit million. Yeah, it's just a snug fit. I might just leave it open. Don't know if I want to close it. You know what? Without, I'll close it. Then we'll do the Sadhu. We got the bag for the Sadhu. Got a board right here. Remember, shiny side up, so it faces the outside. And then, yeah, I accidentally bent the bag because I did not record this in one sequence, like this video in one sequence. It took me like 2 weeks just because I was procrastinating. Yeah, there we go. And then we got the back of this Green Arrow issue that we got it. Yeah, they ended up canceling Shazam, which is kind of insane. I guess it just wasn't selling enough. Don't know. But yeah, I finally got back to reading comics more because I just stopped when like school was getting too much. I had AP exams and stuff. So yeah, but hopefully we'll start up Shazam again because I kind of wanted to read that. But there's only so much you can do with him. Like, he only has one gimmick. It's like, you know, he's actually a kid. So hopefully they do something new and nice. Get the Shazam League back, Shazam family. But I read Absolute Flash. It's not on here. Yeah, it's not. But Absolute Flash is a banger, bro. Like, I read the first 4 issues in one sitting. It's so good. I mean, it's just fun watching or reading something that's like different than what you've been seeing, like different from the main continuity. I think it's just fun. Trying to get back into more Marvel. Like, my favorite character in Marvel is Spider-Man, but like the writers don't know how to write him, you know? They won't let him catch a break, won't let him get married to MJ. So it's just kind of boring to read this same old story, like, oh, he's back in high school now again, he's back in college now, oh, he broke up with MJ again, Aunt May's dead, Aunt May's not dead. So it's kind of just boring like that. But yeah, let's put this back in. Also, I didn't mention it, but this cover art is amazing. The way you can just like see the smoke, that's crazy. That was really nice. Okay, let's start taping them. One piece is all you need. Yeah, probably gonna tape this up. Yeah, you can see how janky this bag is. But you know, I tried my best. Oh shit, didn't tape that right. Dang. Bruh. Since everything is like see-through, you don't realize if you're taping it correctly or not. If you're like going in the middle, where it can be actually taped to the other side of the bag. But yeah, this was Action Comics #1, Green Arrow #24, and the Sadhu #2. I had a lot of fun reading this. I definitely recommend them. I give Green Arrow a 4 out of 5. Well, actually, I'd give like a 3.5 out of 5, just because it's, you know, it's just like a wrap-up epilogue issue. Like that's not exciting or cool or fun. Well, I mean, I guess it could be fun, but you know, it was whatever to me. Action Comics, well, you know, it's the OG, right? 5 out of 5. I mean, I think it's disrespectful if you don't give it a 5 out of 5. I'm kidding. It's not disrespectful. Everyone has their own opinion. Don't come after me. And the Sadhu, I would also give a 3.5 out of 5. It's predictable. Hopefully the next few issues are not predictable. I hope they're fun. But yeah, thank you for joining me for this video, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.